By God's grace, welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
You know, we up here popping.
I hear it on and popping.
On and popping.
There we go. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, people can. Okay, yeah.
I can see us now.
And I see we got some viewers, so already.
Welcome, y'all. Look.
Welcome to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I am Qiana.
I'm your brother John.
And we're brought to you by the New Image Project, better known as
See that?
Because we are redefining.
What's cool?
Because smart
is
the new
gangsta.
Baby.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Yes.
Aaron, what's good?
Good morning, Aaron.
Women Talk Podcast.
Grand Rising.
Yeah. I'm up. Thank you, Jesus. Praise Allah. Everybody. I'm grateful, man.
You grateful?
Yeah, but I was tired, boss.
Oh.
But I'm grateful.
I'm glad you're
thankful, thoughtful, and glad to be among the living. Yeah.
Didn't read about myself in no obituary this morning.
Yes. That's always a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what we do, now that we got this opportunity.
Make the best of it.
Now that we found love, what are we going to do with it?
Love it back.
That's a question, right? Now that we found love, what are we going to do with it?
Love it back.
Yeah,
you know how many people find love and abuse it?
Ooh. Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know how many people find it and mistreat it?
Abuse it.
Yeah, and don't know what to do with it?
That's true.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people get it, take it for granted.
Don't know what to do with love.
Mm-hmm.
When did you find out what to do with love?
I think I've always been a hopeless romantic.
Okay. When did you learn to love love?
That's like, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Okay. It was the summer of 1986. Whenever the show came out, that's when I fell in love with hip hop.
That's when you fell in love with hip hop?
Lottie Dottie and and so Lottie Dottie was the B-side to the show.
Uh-huh.
So we still had records.
Yeah, boop.
Yeah. And I love the show. My wife and my children will tell you that's my song, man. So
Lottie Dottie, we likes to party.
We don't cause trouble and we don't bother nobody. Yeah. so that's when I fell in love. So my cousin, this was in Leesburg too.
Uh-huh.
He was a DJ.
Uh-huh.
And so he used to play like Planet Rock and Looking for the Perfect Beat. And like he always did our family reunions and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to my cousin, R.I.P. Snoop, man. BT Express was what they were called. And he used to put us up on all of the music. And when they played the show, I fell in love with hip hop.
You fell in love with when did you fall in love with love?
Oh man, when did I fall in love with love? I can't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly. But I know I'm really loving being in love right now.
I know, because let me tell you, it's like an aura about you, right?
I love being in love.
Let me tell you what you do. Like, we be out, we're working, we getting stuff done, and you like, oh yeah, I got somewhere to be.
I gotta go home.
You be like, I got a beautiful wife at home.
I gotta go home.
I gotta go love on her. I've been going all day.
Yeah, I be missing her for real. Like that's my dog. Like I be missing my wife. I real deal be missing her. Like traveling, going to work and being gone all day.
Mm-hmm.
I be missing my wife, man. I'm sorry if that's the thing.
No, don't be sorry.
Don't
be sorry.
I tell you this, love saved my life too, though, because. Like being with her kept me out of a lot of trouble. Like
they usually do.
Ain't no secret. People know we've been together since high school, and so like that after high school phase and stage when it was time to go get in trouble. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna go hang out over here. I'm gonna be with her, and being laid up, as they said. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot more comfortable.
It kept me out of a lot of trouble. You know,
but a lot of people don't realize that, like, the stability of a good foundation will definitely keep you out of.
I'm so blessed. I was blessed young too, boy. I'm really blessed. And I'm telling you, it's been such a blessing to have this woman in my life, man, because it's I can't even describe it. You know what I'm saying? Like the way she loved me, her patience, and just like her endurance, her strength. Like none of that evil for evil stuff, and I did some evil stuff. Well, I was a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? Like I made a lot of. I won't say I was. I won't say I was a bad person. I made a lot of bad decisions.
I was just say, like you talking about, I was
I was a bad person. I made a lot of really bad and stupid decisions. Let's say you made
some bad decisions.
Yeah, I was yeah. Because she couldn't have stayed with me if I was a bad person.
Some people do. She could have, but you know what happened is
she knew I was a good person.
The core, like you might have made some bad decisions, right? And did some bad things in there, but your core of who you are keep people. And then the thing is that you was willing to not stay there.
Oh yeah, I couldn't. Like I could not. Because it was I just couldn't. I couldn't.
And that's draining.
Yeah. Carrie, good morning. Jay, good morning. I see y'all. Appreciate y'all. Karen, thank you for the stars. Miss Loretta is watching. Thank you for tuning in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast
Aaron,
Club.
thank you for the stars.
We appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, no, I really am such a blessed man. Realizing it more and more every day. And like this we kind of somewhat empty nesters. We just got baby girl at home. She'll be 22 this year. That's like an empty nest.
It's so crazy. So I see her, I see baby girl everywhere, right?
Okay, yeah, okay.
She just be popping up.
Okay.
And I don't even know, like, I'm hey baby girl.
Zakia.
But I just call her baby girl.
Yeah.
Everybody else call her baby girl. I call
That's
her
my girl too, man. And just watching her grow, like over the past, 4 or 5 years, and just how she just coming into her own and
to her adulthood.
Yeah.
Because you was just saying how like she really into like she was talking to you about the politics.
She's passionate about it. Like I won't say she follows it and she's into it, but her opinions like are strong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like what she do know, she know. And the thing, her values, I would say. So she's really in line with her values.
And that's it. Yeah. That makes you feel good too.
Oh yeah. Because because that's an informed voter. Like your personal values and what matters to you. And then you can identify candidates that line up with your values. And so I think that's the first part of voter education is just self-awareness and knowing like this is what matters to me. This is what's important to me. And she's very clear on those things. And then finding candidates who align with that. That's the conversations that we have. But she like real clear on like where she stand. You know what I'm saying? On
she
things.
Got her. She got her flag stuck in
my middle daughter, same way. I'm just proud papa, man. And then my oldest daughter, she is like the community auntie.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so she look out for everybody's children. Like if she see them and they wrong, like she's going to be like, man, I wonder if they mama and them know that they out here being wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like, boy, your mama know you out here being, being.
But see, everybody respect her.
Yeah.
I was listening to somebody, like I came across a podcast last night. And was just kind of listening to it. And we talked about like this parenting and like, parents like they bear like some responsibilities, but then the children have their own that they have to bear as well.
If you really want to understand that, just remember that when you was a child and you was out here getting into stuff, a lot of times your mama and them didn't know what you was doing.
No, they didn't. But your mama didn't know what you was doing. But when you have a good connection with your parents, you hit them on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like you hear them over there, like they be over there.
And you have to talk yourself into it.
Yeah,
because you have to like, man, I ain't trying to hear that. And like you got to come up with some excuse or some justification as to why you're doing what you're doing because you know what you're doing is wrong.
Because John Bailey said at the men's conference,
shout out to John
that
Bailey.
You know what I mean, that he wasn't living himself when he was out there, and until he started being who he was supposed to be, everything lined up.
That's my story too.
And this goes back to like you can't control what they do, but if you instill and put in there, they come back.
Oh yeah.
You know
they say train a child up in the way that they should go, and when they get old, they won't depart from it or something like that. Yeah.
They say something like that. You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
So I heard on Monday you were talking about the Black men's mental health event, and just wanted to say thank you again publicly for creating that space and organizing and putting that space together, because I am still hearing a lot of good things about it, and I wanted to direct people to like so I talked with Rashid Mazel. He came from Mentality, And I just wanted to give him a shout out because he does these men's group, Real Fathers, Real Talk about, masculinity and manhood and the like. And he does them the third Saturday of every month from 11 to 1. And so the third Saturday at the Next Step Pregnancy Center is like, if you longing for that, you want to be a part of that, you want to like, man, we need to get together with other men. Like, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. Brother Rashid has been doing this for at least 7 years. I know. Third Saturday of every month. So y'all tap in, man. It's the third Saturday at 11 o'clock at Next Step Pregnancy Center. If you really want to be a part of a great group, and it's called Raising Our Men, capital MEN, Mentality.
Yeah,
and very inspiring, very beautiful group.
There were so many different resources in there, right?
Yes.
And I loved it. And so like I'm reading, like I love like the input and look and just reading everybody's comments on it. Yeah. The one that I see more than anything about the women being in the building. Right?
Okay.
And I'm gonna go back on Facebook and address it because I know some of them may not listen to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Oh, we just play this clip. So this is a public service announcement.
Right.
So for those who had a question about women being in the building during the Black Men's Mental Health conversation, what do you say to them?
So, there's men conversations that's had just by men, and that's great, and we should. But to help each other, if the person hurt you, if a woman hurt you, because I saw Duvet, he went in there and he was like, he loved it. He wished the women wasn't there as well, so they can be a little bit more candid, because some women are the ones who hurt. If you have the opportunity to tell the person who abused you, or let them know what they did to you, so that they can understand, so they don't repeat the cycle again. This is what I'm thinking. And I'm opening up the room where there's a division, where people are not talking. If all the men are talking and saying what is wrong, what women doing wrong and all this other stuff, and the women never hear it, how can they change or fix it?
And I'll tell you this, just being a Black man who has been in spaces like that, I've been in spaces where the women are not present, and the conversation about their responsibility is very minimal. Most of the conversations, and I'm giving you a peek into the game room, and again, this is my lived experience. Being in men only spaces, when women come up, it's usually about how we can do better by them. And how we can treat our women better. It's not so much about the women. Again, maybe I just hang around a different set of people, different type of guys, different type of brothers. But the brothers who I hang out with, like they're like absolutely supportive of our women and looking at ways that we can be better men, better fathers, better husbands. To our women. There he is, man. With the plan was good, brother. And so those are the types of men that I'm around. And if we do acknowledge, a woman's, responsibility, it's minimal, and it's not like putting full response. Like, see, because it's it's not that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't blame women for anything when I'm in men only spaces.
Yeah.
And so that if that was one of the concerns about like, let me just back up. I do understand that having women in the room changes the dynamic, and it does absolutely change the dynamic. But I was in full support of having them there because, like, it give women an opportunity to peek behind the curtain a little bit and see, like, this is what we talking about. This is what we doing.
Wow.
And I think that's necessary because a lot of times women think that we're saying or doing something in their absence that we're not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And go ahead, Mr. Edmond. Welcome to the ride.
Hey, thank y'all for allowing me to ride with y'all this morning. But and I've been listening. I've been tuned in.
Right on.
And I think and I agree with some men that there do need to be conversations with men. But I think this particular conversation is men issues, but it's about us.
Yeah.
We're not going to heal alone.
Right.
And that's what, that's the pill we're going to have to swallow.
Right.
Right. To really heal and make the corrections in the community that we want.
Yeah.
It's going to be a group effort. And we always talk about that. That's why when we were planning it and we were putting it out, we was like, okay, are we going to just tell them no? No, because they're part of our healing. And when we do the women's conversation, we're going to still be there because we're a part of the woman's healing. We're all a part of each other's healing. We're not going to get in the corner and heal alone.
And then one of the things that came up during the conversation was, when we did have women speak, like women were speaking from the perspective of how they can support and be better to us. So it wasn't like, well, see the problem with y'all is like it wasn't women coming in to evaluate.
It wasn't a bashing thing.
It was a supportive space. Like, hey, I know that I have this issue with men and the way I deal with men. So how can I be better? How can I support you?
Right. How can I help my girlfriend?
Yeah. To be better.
Be better, and things like that. And so
if you look at a lot of the men didn't really want to touch that question because it's like, I can't tell you as a woman how to be a better woman. Like that's a question that y'all gotta have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it was some questions that some of the panelists was quick to jump on. And then there was other ones like when the women were asking, how can I do womanhood different? It's like, man, I don't know.
Right.
Like, I don't know. Like I can just tell you my experience and here's what, but you see, like it's hard for us to answer those questions because I don't know what makes you tick. I can just tell you what my experience is with you and how we can change that. But I can't tell you how to be a better woman.
So with the series that's going on, it is not going to be necessarily traditional.
Yeah.
When you look at it.
It can't be.
Right.
When you get traditional results.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We want something better than
right. And not saying that we won't have one with just all men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When the men are just talking amongst themselves, because I do believe that dialogue.
Look, I already got that.
Look, I just told. I just told you.
We cooking them cakes,
and it's been cooking for 7 years.
Yeah.
Like every third Saturday, raising the mentality.
Yeah.
And it's only men in that space. You know what I mean? The third Saturday, 11 o'clock at the Next Step Pregnancy Center, right there on the Deuces. If you're looking for a men only space with no women in it, that space is available, and it has been available for
7 years.
For 7 years,
and we have conversations and we do things. I think what we really got to do is focus on us, right, and look at us as a unit. And,
there you go,
and think past the boxes they put us in.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because mental health is not like cookie cutter. Right. And what we want to do is explore some other options where we can have men asking questions for men and women being able to support and vice versa.
And you know what I'm about more than anything is unity.
Yep.
Right. In healthy relationships in our community. We have been divided so long.
I know.
Right.
They're begging for the division.
We've been divided so long that we need to divide some more.
They're begging for it.
And I just thinking, and again, I love the input, right? I love it, and I'm glad that people came in.
Yeah.
But when you come into this space, just know that it's gonna be a mixed crowd 9 times out of 10 because we're trying to pull the community together.
And come to heal.
Yeah.
Come to heal. Don't come to be defensive. Don't come to support your narrative or your ideas. Come to heal. Come to listen. Come to learn. And come to heal. Come with an open heart because that's the goal of these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, no, and I think it was amazing. I think it was very well done, very well, put together. The space was great. Dave's space is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And daughters of African Queen.
Man, it was just a good vibe. And I think, like I said, the women who came to support and being able to call back and listen.
Yeah, they came as our partners.
Yeah, they came as partners.
Because they really want to be, how like men be like, oh, how can I be vulnerable? Like I tell my secret. Everybody that showed in there want you to be able to give that part of you where you feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so when people show up at the hard times, to hold your hand when you think that speaks volumes.
And like people say, there is times when you do want to be vulnerable and say some things that can't be said in rooms full of people. And then we're gonna find those spaces. We're gonna go to mentality. We're gonna explore those spaces and understand every space ain't the space for everything.
It ain't. And you know what? Dr. Brittany is going to email everybody out, like her staff. They were there.
Thank you, Dr. Brittany. That's more women that was in the building.
Yeah.
There for support, and there to actually be the the doctor figure, the professional in the building.
And the first thing when me and Dr. Brittany talked about it, and when we came in, she said, I'm just gonna sit back. If they need me, I'm here.
Yep.
But other than that, the men is gonna, and y'all kudos to the men. Because y'all did that.
Yeah.
Y'all did that.
And you created the space for us to do that. So kudos to you. Thank you. Thank you as well.
Hats off.
Yeah, hats off.
Team.
Yeah.
Well done.
I love it when the plan comes together, right?
What are we doing today, Pinky? We're gonna take over the world.
Yesterday.
Try to take over the world. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yesterday, sad day.
Okay.
Marcellus Williams was executed
by
lethal injection.
And for those who don't know, Marcellus is
he was convicted in 1999 or 1998.
89, I believe.
89. Yeah. Oh, dang! I'm even.
Oh, hold on. No, you're right. Let me see.
Go ahead.
I got it here. So Marcellus Williams. So he was a Missouri man. He was convicted of breaking into a woman's house and repeatedly stabbing her. Right. He was executed on Tuesday over the objections of the victim's family and the prosecutor, who wanted the death sentence commuted to life in prison. Marcellus Williams, 55, was convicted, you're right, in 1998. And basically, long story short, DNA evidence now proves that he was not the person who did it.
So,
and the prosecutor who prosecuted him was fighting.
Yes,
was trying to overturn his conviction.
And see, I've been watching a lot of these cases of these overturned executions, and I think that it's another example of how Black men, particularly, are being murdered and slaughtered.
Yeah,
right, because the evidence is unrefutable. They say the evidence shows that he was not the person that committed this crime, something that should exonerate a person instantly.
Yeah.
Right? This should instantly exonerate you of any crime at any time.
Right.
Irrefutable evidence. Look the word up. That means there's no way that he could have done it, but he still was executed even through the Supreme Court. So it went all the way up to the highest court, and the Black man still ain't safe.
Yeah.
Even with unrefutable evidence.
And the governor has never, like they said, they felt like he wasn't going to overturn it.
Yeah.
They said because, they done brought cases and he typically don't, but they felt like this was the one.
That he would because it just makes sense to do it. Like
the evidence said it. The family of the victim was like, they didn't want him to be executed.
Yeah.
The prosecutor who prosecuted him was like, yo, I made a mistake. Yep. Like all this stuff came into play and it's still.
Yeah.
We need social justice. We need justice around sentencing. We need justice. We need swift justice, because the problem is once the conviction is handed down and they say the death penalty, a lot of these governors and these municipalities in these different states, they have a thing about, we have to carry out this execution.
Yeah.
They don't want to commute sentences. They don't want to overturn them. They want to push them through. That's like one of the unwritten rules. If it's handed down, they want to see it through.
So I'm going to say this.
They thinking they're doing their job by seeing it through. Even if they know that they're wrong.
You know what this sound like? You know how like you make a decision and you be like, I'm gonna stick by this regardless, and then you realize down the road, like,
we turned wrong. We wasn't supposed to turn left, and we turned left.
So you mad?
But I'm just gonna keep going anyway.
You hop in,
and it's clear, like, okay, wait, we're not getting closer to the destination. You're getting further and further away. But just because I decided that was the turn, I'm gonna keep going.
A group of y'all get in the car because y'all want to do revenge on somebody. Yeah, I seen them, and y'all riding in the car, and your grandma called you and say, "Get home."
Yeah.
Let me out the car, dude, boy.
Let me out.
This is when you say, you know what? Yeah, man, it's a terrible idea.
Let me out the car, dude, boy.
You can turn at any point in time before you hit.
Let me out, though.
Hey, dude,
let me out.
And look where his life went and Doe went.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can change your mind.
It was a turning point in the movie.
It really was. And you got to realize he was the strongest person in that car. That's what I tell everybody, man.
Yes.
He was the strongest person in the car because he had the strength to be able to buck the trend and be like, you know what? No, let me out.
Let me out.
You know how much courage and strength that, because I done sat in cars knowing I need to get out and stayed in them. You know what I'm saying? Like something telling me to get out, but I'm staying in the car, and then something happened and be like,
Damn.
Knew I should have got one. Let me the strength that it take to be like when you hear it to know that I need to leave
because
now.
Because you know everybody's gonna look at you different, say stuff at that point, like, what you mean? But you see how Doe came back to him, was like, man.
And what we're talking about is the execution of the brother in
Missouri.
Missouri already has a horrible track record when it comes to black men and black bodies. And this is another issue that this is what we're dealing with. This one hit the community hard though.
And I think we got to really start lifting this up because it says Williams was among death row inmates in 5 states who were scheduled to be put to death in the span of a week, which is an unusually high number that defies the years-long decline in the use of the death penalty. The first was carried out Friday in South Carolina, and Texas was also slated to execute a prisoner on Tuesday evening.
There is an attack on black bodies, and then leading the way for the attack is the criminal justice system.
Yeah.
They're saying crime is higher than ever.
And it's not true.
They're saying, because you listen to the rhetoric. And then if you listen to the rhetoric, what it produced is more executions than ever before.
Yeah.
And 90% of these people black, 80% of them black men.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the death row lineup of people who are about to die in every state, like it's out proportionate, what they call it, disproportionately black.
Absolutely.
It's disproportionately black men.
So how do y'all feel about the death penalty?
I don't think they need to do away with it. But especially the way that it's being administered right now.
They ain't doing nothing but killing black people.
Yeah, and it don't deter people. Like people don't do crimes because they think that they're going to get the death penalty.
No, they're not.
I think it's the difference between punishment and justice, and the death penalty is a form of punishment,
not justice,
but not justice because you see that there's so much injustice in the way that
there is a lot of injustice. So all right, so I'm torn.
Yeah,
right. I'm totally torn, and because I'm one of the people that believe an eye for an eye.
I believe that too.
Right. But I also, on the justice end, you see where like you're convicting people, you putting people up there who hasn't done it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah. I mean, and I support that. That's why I said it's like there are certain cases and certain people, who do some atrocious things.
Like I think if you get caught at the scene with the weapon, doing all of you got to go.
I think it's
you got to go.
But see, I think it's I don't think it's the eye for eye that's the problem. I think it's the people who are carrying out the justice system.
I agree with
you. The people who are executing these people. It's the people who are not looking at irrefutable evidence and turning it around.
The people who can't say, you know what, we was wrong on this one.
It's unrefutable. The DNA, because we didn't have a strong DNA system.
In 1998, there's so much stuff. First of all, you didn't even have Ring cameras. You know what I mean? First of all, we were still doing dial-up computers for real, like giving you a second to even. So just think about where technology has changed since then. So it's okay. And then, when you young and trying to make a name for yourself, sometimes you overdo it and push it.
No, these people old.
No, then.
I'm talking about right now. They just had unrefutable evidence to not kill this man.
Right.
And they did it. I ain't not talking about what they did in 89, 98. I'm talking about yesterday. The governor and the people, the Supreme Courts, the people in power had an opportunity not to execute this man.
That's what I was saying, Jamar.
But these old people, they ain't young.
No, but that's what I was saying.
This ain't a mistake in their past.
No,
they just did it.
No, Jabbar, listen.
I'm just saying it ain't a mistake in their past.
When the prosecutor was young in 1998, right? Agreed. And I'm saying he was trying to make a name for himself.
Almost 30 years ago.
Right. Agreed. And now he came back and he was trying to right his wrong. He said, I was wrong. He shouldn't be prosecuted. He was the one. Everybody that was on that case was like, no, we need to flip it. Like, even the family. It's the governor and everybody else who just wanted to uphold it, who didn't have nothing to do with it.
I got UB says, no one wants to accept the backlash of being wrong or admitting to the injustice against certain people.
Yeah, they're gonna hide it and lie about it until the bus side and then say, oh, okay, we meant to lie, not lie.
Qiana said the problem is they won't ever admit that they are wrong, so they won't overturn anything. It's a lot of stubborn old people on these platforms who are set in their old ways.
And they be lying.
Yeah.
And they be lying. Remember I was about the old lying people that use their oldness to lie. And they know people respect them, and they still just lie.
They just lie because they
old. They was lying when they was.
I never heard this a day in my
life. A lying old person.
You
just an old line. Just old line. Blank, right? With your old line. With your line old.
This is another bar fact, y'all.
Shout out to all the old people. Especially the old line. That's all they do is sit around and tell lies.
Because they know they respect it.
Right. Well, you heard what I said.
You heard it here first on the Tampa Bay Breakfast.
Man. I know some young people that's like that, though.
Yeah, they gonna get old.
We used to say just lie to kick it. So you just lying to kick
Don't
it.
you hate when people what I hate more is because everybody done lied in their life.
But still,
no, everybody done. But what I hate more than anything is a lie I didn't ask for.
Okay. I ain't even asked you for that lie. Wow.
Nothing. Yeah. Like, you sitting up there talking. Yeah, yesterday they came over and it was a good. Who didn't say it?
The lie for no reason.
Yeah,
you just lie.
You know who used to do that? Well, I remember. I don't even know who J Flo.
That's why his name was J Flo.
Right.
He'll be walking. Yeah, Rick Ross was at my house yesterday. What you talking about?
Look, we know we got a problem with black people in mental health.
Okay, we got to take a break, y'all. This is a hard stop at 8:00.
Oh, it is.
We do.
Come back after the break. We're going to talk about some more important issues in the community.
I want to talk about the storm briefly, then I'm going to have to go after the break.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And,
so tag a friend, tell a friend. We shall be back.
Retaliation for recent attacks on the group, which it said had been planned there. Hugo Bachega has the latest.
This appears to be the first time ever.
Agape Soul Boutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at agapesoulboutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Boutique today. Agape Soul Boutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at agapesoulboutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Boutique today. Agape Soul Boutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at agapesoulboutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Boutique today. Agape Soul Boutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more.
because smart
is
gangster,
baby. And if you don't know,
now you know. Thank y'all for riding with us. And so, before the top of the hour, we were talking about the injustice of the Marcellus Williams case, and we talked about Black love and all of those things, and also the Black men's mental health, and reminded you that if you want an affinity space that's just for Black men with no Black women at all that are present, you can go to Mentality. The third Saturday is Raising Our Mentality. It's a men's group facilitated by Rashid Mazel. Good brother, went to school with him, all that good stuff. The third Saturday of every month from 11 to 1 at the Next Step Pregnancy Center. So if you're looking for that space and you're talking about like follow-up and spaces for us to be able to build, he's been doing this consistently for at least 7 years, I know.
7 years.
At least.
And you know,
support him. We support brothers.
And so we're not recreating the space.
We
saying he already has the space. He's holding the space.
And you know who else holds that space too? John Bailey for Returning Citizens.
Yeah, Life from the Inside Out.
Yeah,
the resources are there.
Yeah.
Yes. So okay, coming up. We got to talk about the storm.
Yes.
That's coming.
So, strengthening Helene is expected to become a hurricane today. Helene is a little stronger with 65-mile-per-hour winds. It will pass near the northeastern coast of the Yucatan Peninsula this morning, moving into the Gulf of Mexico today and reaching the Big Bend coastal Florida late Thursday. So there's tropical storm force winds are expected to extend outward up to 175 miles from the center. And Thursday, the wind gusts will be about 50 to 80 miles per hour for some of the coastal counties like ours and the Nature Coast. And so make sure that we tighten up. This says the biggest threat to life and property is from storm surge. Because the trajectory of Helene, it will push water onto the coast and Tampa Bay and into a naturally curved part of Florida from the Nature Coast all the way up to the Big Bend. So they're saying it's going to be a big storm, probably be a category 2 or 3 when it makes its closest pass to Tampa Bay. And don't sleep on the storm, man.
Yeah. So yes, please, if you own batteries, charge your batteries.
Yeah.
If you need water, fill up your water containers. You don't got to go buy water. The water is still on.
Yeah.
Fill your water containers.
I did see that they didn't want you to give your pets water in some places in Pinellas County, but that's another subject.
What?
They was doing something with the water. They was chlorinating the water, and they said, "Don't give it to your pets."
Then if I can't give it to my pets, I don't want it.
Please and thank you.
I'm sorry.
You didn't see that. You didn't see it.
Put it on the Tampa Bay Breakfast.
I find it on the There was a notice that
I am boil water notice from the Tampa Bay Breakfast. They're gonna be like, y'all, ain't nobody tell y'all to say no boil water. You better boil it if you know, like I know.
No, and then you just said, don't buy no water.
Don't buy no water. That's why I'm telling you, you might want to buy you some water.
I'm just saying, if they say the pets can't drink it,
all options.
Yeah, exercise all options. All options. And I
crazy.
I want to go back. I can't see it now, but you tell when we was talking about because I'm gonna have to go. But I wanted to talk about it before I leave when he said that the Supreme Court shouldn't have the final say, especially when you have cases like this where it's clear. Like there has to be somebody,
a tribunal or something.
Somebody that is over them, and I think that was very valid.
And you do see his last written statement is like all praises to Allah.
Yeah, wow,
solid man. He the reality is and people been sharing that. So there hasn't ever been I ain't gonna say ever, right? Yeah. At this point, this is the new and most, I ain't gonna say popular, but most popular execution victim.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't know who got executed last.
Yeah. Out of them 5 that's been
this week, you don't know who the last unrefutable evidence person was. We don't know who that is, but we know who this brother is.
Yeah.
Right.
And his death has triggered something that shouldn't be ignored.
Right.
And we should really use this as a reason to be involved with politics, to be involved with who get elected. Because these are the people who are making those rules.
Yep. And judges are on your ballot.
Judges are elected individuals. And then the Supreme Court is appointed by somebody that's elected.
You know what this remind me of? When you look at it, you plant a tree that you might not ever sit under to get the shade up. Like, you know, like he did.
Speaking of, like, we know we plant trees.
Right.
We gotta wait for it to grow.
And we might not be here long enough to see the fruits of what we planted.
That's
right? But because they're planted, we know that they're growing. So, like,
and we warden them.
And Marcellus, he set You know what I mean? He did.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad.
It's very sad, but he started another trend. He brought awareness to stuff.
This thing is an election issue. And that's what people got to take from it. You know, not just be mad.
Find out where these candidates stand on the death penalty.
Not just be, or angry at what's going on, because there's a lot of it going on. Mm-hmm. We have to get active.
Yeah,
we got to get politically active. That's why we in this box that we're in, because 15% of a group went and voted, and our 10% didn't go.
Yeah,
and we didn't have enough people to turn. And then they made this law. Now we can't talk about this in school. Now we can't do this. Now we can't do this.
Yep.
These laws are being made right in front of our faces.
And then they're overturning the laws that we do locally. So like the things that I worked on, it was 2 things specifically that I worked on prior to becoming on council, and then getting on council, passing the Tenants Bill of Rights. As soon as we passed it, that was January of 2023.
They repealed
in July. They repealed.
We should have.
You thought you had like the slam dunk, and somebody said,
No, I had to slam it. We slammed it, and then they looked and say you slammed it too hard.
Yeah, they smacked it back.
We should have took them. We should have appealed it. We should have took them all the way to the Supreme Court, the same way we had to take segregation to the Supreme Court. Yep. We can't bend in both for every time the state does something against the home rule. We have to challenge it. That's what the law made of.
And that's when you start talking about who's elected, because those who are elected have to not be afraid or be averse to that risk, because you know that it's going to be a risk. You know that it's going to be a cost associated with it, and you have to be willing to take that risk.
But think about segregation. Just think about segregation.
Yeah.
Think if these groups of people were elected back then, we would still be segregated because they wouldn't have challenged it.
Yeah.
They would say, "Oh no, we can't challenge. It's going to cost $1 million to go to court."
Yeah,
it's going to cost us.
We got to pay that.
And if we lose, we got to pay it.
Yeah. All right, then. So last thing I want to leave y'all with before I get out of here, man. And I always appreciate the ride. Thank y'all for holding it down.
Yes, we'll hold it down while you gone.
But the again, back to the storm. Make sure that you're following it. Of course, we believe in God, but we also lock our doors. You know what I'm saying? And so we know that. It's a lot of praying people here. We've been fortunate in a lot of ways to dodge some big storms, but you never know. And so we've done this a few times, a series of times. So we want to make sure that you're prepared, make sure that you have what you need, make sure that your batteries are charged, make sure that you got contact information for your loved ones, and gather the supplies that you need, but don't go out and spending all your money on stuff if you don't have to. And if you don't have it, I get it. But definitely make sure that you have a plan if you need to evacuate, if you need to flood. Like, start planning and preparing, and it just makes it that much easier to not panic when the moment happens.
Right.
Because if you're thinking about it now, and then they tell you, okay, you got to leave, at least you've thought about it.
Yeah, you had a plan.
You don't want to start thinking about it when they tell you, y'all got to leave.
Yeah.
That's my only thing. So I put out the question, how are you preparing for the storm? However you prepare is however you prepare.
Right.
And I saw a comment, one of the comments, I love franchise. He was like, man, we worrying about bills. We ain't thinking about that storm. If it come, it come. I get that. I hear that. A lot of people unite with that. But if it come, it's easier to respond when you're prepared.
I'm going to say this. Yeah. We just had some rain. What? Couple of weeks ago?
15 minutes of rain.
And it flooded the whole St. Pete.
Pretty much.
34th Street.
Listen,
people. 34th Street, 22nd Avenue North. Everything,
Tyrone Boulevard,
all of that around Tyrone, everything you couldn't get in. Rockin' Crabs had cars stuck like in the parking lot. You saw tow trucks coming. People.
Chuck E. Cheese had cars floating
from a Wednesday afternoon rain.
Yes,
just a good hard rain.
So be prepared. Know your evacuation routes. Know the things that you need to know before this storm hits. Do some research. Get some stuff. Get some supplies. Take your stuff out your front yard. Put it in the house so it don't blow and become a projectile. That's lawn furniture. That's those little knickknacks. Just whatever, because we got to take care of each other, because that thing becomes a projectile that may hurt your neighbor.
That's right.
So we got to think for each other right now as we walk through this.
And then also start thinking about after the storm, because with the wind that they're projecting, it's going to be a mess. And so you're probably going to have to do some cleanup, and might be some stuff down in the streets. And so just knowing that even during the storm, that's one. So you got the prep before the storm, during the storm, and then after the storm, the recovery.
We know about this. We know that we don't.
You know what? The day thing.
We know this, brother John. We got to be ready for recovery. We ready as soon as the sun come back up.
And I think that speaks to the level of responsibility that we've accepted. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I get it when you have people who like, man, I ain't think about that stuff. That's fine. You have the luxury of not having to think about it. But there's certain people in the community who have accepted responsibility for more than just their household and other people in the community. And so when we put these things out, like, we good because we've been telling everybody else how to get good.
Right.
My wife was like, we need anything. I'm looking, I'm like, not really.
And if you're going out,
power don't go out because it get hot.
And if you're going out there to grab a couple of things and you know there's somebody elderly,
grab something for them.
Yeah. Grab something for somebody else. Yeah. And be patient. And pack your patience when you go out. Because there's a lot of people that's gonna be like moving around.
But get gas in your car.
Yeah.
Listen, and on everything, because big shots out to the Child Support team. I want to talk about our community captains. We passing out radios, so if the lights go out, we're gonna be able to help resources get to the places in the community that's needed the most, because we're gonna have captains in four corners of the neighborhood, from 22nd to, we trying to spread it out.
So that we can really have boots on the ground.
So we have boots on the ground as soon as this is over, because we know we got to do some stuff. We know, okay, just in case insulin is coming in on the 49th Street side, and we know we need it on 34, and we got some people over there that need to get their insulin. Boom, we can expedite the transportation of that because we have the communication apparatus. So I'm just
and I'll post this on the page. Thank you for that. And I'll post this on the page. Like if you see power lines that are down, there's a line that you call, you know what I mean, so they can get them back up and running. But like I said, most of us who are here, we from here, we've been here all of our lives, so we know what this is like. And you know you can never really take it lightly. Like you gotta prepare, whether this your first hurricane or your 40th hurricane, like you know the angst and the anxiety that come with like preparing yourself and your family and the community for a hurricane. So look, read that when I'm gone, but I appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you for your time.
Going. I'm your brother John.
We'll see you later.
You will.
And while brother John packs up and leave, I'm going to read this water systems maintenance program for Pinellas County. This has been an issue that people have been talking about. And the notice says, puppies, cats, birds, fish, and pets, beware of tap water. Starting September 23rd to October 12th, we will have high doses of chlorine added to the county water system for maintenance. Don't give tap water to pets, yourself, if at all possible. Pets.
And yourself. I think when they said no,
why they wouldn't just say people don't drink water? Why do we have to have this word salad that people may not clearly get?
You know why? They heard pets. People care. This is let you know. No. Do you let you know how important pets are?
No, and the grammar's wrong. Don't give tap water to us pets. To us pets or yourself.
Everybody.
And then you put the pets in front of yourself. It should say, don't drink the tap water from September 23rd to October 12th. Don't drink it unless you have to, and don't give it to your pets. That's what the message should say.
It should have said,
Pinellas County, tighten up. Whoever wrote this, y'all need to retrain them. Retrain them. Y'all need to relook at these words.
Listen, or just whoever is the head editor.
Talking about the pets.
That's what they do.
Why is yourself last? Why is me last? Because the pets first. They love the pets more.
They do. My pet saved my life one time.
For real? Your pet saved your life.
When I had guns pointed at me.
The dog saved your life?
It was my dog, because my dog was sitting next to me, and they was like, she has a dog. They wanted me to detain the dog. They didn't want to keep. No, they didn't care nothing about me. It was my German Shepherd.
Oh yeah, that killer.
He was a puppy at that point. Like
but he a big puppy. That's not a little dog.
But he was nowhere as the size that.
But he still was bigger than a regular puppy. But listen, he wasn't a little puppy.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't a little puppy.
He was a nice size.
The dog was never this big.
But listen, he was sitting up there. So one thing is, we've always had a trained dog. So if I'm sitting, he's sitting. Right? And
I like that. I like y'all trained dog too.
And so I mean, they cared more about the dog than me. And that's what really,
well,
I
care more about the people than the pets, and I just think
you see people get tougher laws for
dogs,
dogs than they do for the stuff that they. Come on, stop it.
So okay, so and this is not from PinellasCounty.gov. Y'all can go see it. Don't give tap water to us pets, or yourself, if at all possible. During this period, the program temporarily converts chloramine to chlorine disinfectant. It is routine maintenance that is designed to reduce the potential for coliform or other types of bacteria from forming in the water delivery system.
So this is just I mean, honestly, you know how like you do those public announcements that go through your TV?
That's what this should have been.
This should have been something like that. You know how like you get those alerts on your phone about
horrible timing.
No, but you get those alerts about kidnapping senior citizens. Like if you can't, you know how many people still drink tap water? It's a lot of people that don't.
I know, yeah.
But it's a lot of people who drink tap water.
Foggy and stuff. You got to let it settle.
Oh no, I'm not letting nothing settle. Lord, oh Lord.
It be cloudy. You got to let it settle.
I don't want nothing cloudy.
Okay.
So if you can't drink regular water, go get you some watermelon. No, watermelon keep you hydrated. Get you some watermelon with seeds in it.
Oh my God! Shout out to Crutel, man.
Right.
Under the interstate, man. Healthy food options in the food desert. Big shots out. No excuses. Okay. In other news, city of St. Petersburg. The Miami Herald just done a report for foreclosure spree in the city of St. Petersburg. The Miami Herald has just released their installment of Foreclosure Franchise. Is a newspaper article about foreclosures in St. Pete. Foreclosure spree in black neighborhoods benefited investors didn't end code violations. So in this article, the Miami Herald has been doing a year-long investigation on the practices of codes compliances and how black neighborhoods. Well, I'll read it straight from there.
Go ahead.
The Foreclosure Franchise, a year-long investigation into cities across Florida, turbocharged foreclosures over unpaid property fines, particularly in heavily black neighborhoods. So this is a story about the foreclosures in neighborhoods, black communities. They've been losing their homes all
over. They're forcing us out.
And St. Pete leads the way.
Of course, because we're on prime real estate. One.
We in paradise, but that doesn't mean rob us for our property. That doesn't mean take us for our property.
You like this not what they do. Like no. Wait. First of all, history says this is what they do,
and history says that there is a time when someone or people come together and corrects it. Because I salute the Miami Herald for doing this reporting, because the newspapers and the publications here in St. Pete and the Tampa Bay area seems to be very buddy or chummy with the people that are doing this stuff to us, right? So Miami Herald has done this investigation that has sent ripples through the city of St. Pete. Let me read it. When the city of St. Pete began to aggressively foreclose on property owners with outstanding code violation 8 years ago, the idea was the city would get these properties into the new hands of owners who would take better care of the properties and improve the surrounding neighborhoods. But the vast majority of these properties that were sold to owners through the city's foreclosure spree have since been cited for new code violations, even after changing hands. The Miami Herald data analysts found many cases the purchasers were companies, not individuals, and they were able to resell the properties for substantial markups. So I had called this subsidized gentrification. And I was saying this back 16, like when they started this, I was saying it before. So the city of St. Pete has had a clear track record of doing this type of stuff, but they supercharged it by expediting the foreclosure process. So what they did was the regular foreclosure process takes 6, 9 to 12 months. They made a way where they would expedite it and it would go real quicker. And people have actually been filing lawsuits for what they call they didn't have due process and things of that nature. So the city is right now dealing with lawsuits about this type of stuff. And this article was written by the Miami Herald September 2nd.
Well, you know what? This is true. I'm going to tell you, with the properties that we own, on one of them we end up selling, right?
Okay, was y'all forced to sell?
We were kind of forced to sell.
Through codes,
right? There was throughout the years, because we've owned this property
for decades.
So
I want to talk about.
So let's look at this. So to be honest, we've owned the whole block for decades. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And so going in there was like codes violations that like little small stuff that you can really just kind of. And then there was permits that we needed, right? Yep. That they wouldn't give us.
Yep. And then they charged y'all.
And then. Now that we sold that property, why that white man who has the house, they gave them the permit that they wouldn't give us for years.
And what I'm going to tell you is that the city has codes, compliance fees, and fines forgiveness programs that they give to the new purchaser. So when somebody new purchases it, fixes it, they forgive the fine. So what they were going to take your house for, if you sell it to someone, they will forgive it for that new purchaser.
I mean, we paid the fine. So
what I'm saying is it's subsidized gentrification. What they're doing is helping facilitate the cheap sale of properties using codes compliance. Yeah. Codes compliance has been weaponized against the Black community. And it's not just us saying it. This is what the Miami Herald's 1-year investigation has shown. And if they take another year and investigate it, they're going to find a whole bunch of more stuff.
So let's say we've had this property, that property that we end up selling.
Yeah.
My daughter is 28. I was in middle school when my parents.
In middle school?
I was in middle school.
When they bought the neighborhood, when they bought the block.
Yeah, like middle school, high school, right? When
they bought the block, they bought the block.
So just think how long ago that was. Yeah. And so, again, my dad going
and they've been on them since then. I know. Listen, I told you about it.
So again, this is 30 something years. Like you did. My daughter's 28.
Yes.
So, right,
so like 35 years ago, 30, and they still was doing it.
You know what I mean?
And y'all talking. So let me finish reading this. The Miami Herald investigation earlier this year revealed that the program in St. Petersburg targeted the city's minority Black neighborhoods, resulting in the loss of homes that had been in families for generations. These are often referred to as heirs properties. The private lawyer hired by the city to file these foreclosures, Matt Winderberger. Matt, we're just gonna call him Matt, after signed contracts with numerous other Florida counties and cities to pursue similar efforts. So what they're saying is that they have come up with a way to target Black neighborhoods that resulted in the loss of generations of wealth, and that this lawyer is now exported this type of thing all throughout the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So not only did they do it here and like really take generational wealth out the hands of so many Black families, they exported the action to other counties within the state of Florida. Yeah. And the Miami Herald is doing an investigation on the entire process.
We need to all get on a lawsuit.
Yeah, so I said that.
We all need
what they call it when it be a big lawsuit? What they call that? A super lawsuit?
I don't know.
Class action lawsuit.
Yeah, class action.
There needs to be a class action lawsuit against the city of St. Petersburg for destroying Black wealth and amongst other things.
And then and I'm gonna tell you, it is because in Black neighborhood, so the property that we had is in Harbordale.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the deal.
So we right there. Let's say in East Harbordale. I'm gonna be honest.
Ditch.
Over the let's say we own 8 properties over there.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
Right, 8 or 9, right there in that area. Some other places. A matter of fact, like I remember before. What's the John Hopkins? No, not John Hopkins. Right here on 22nd.
Thurgood Marshall.
We had a house there. They bought that house to build.
Okay.
Thurgood Marshall. So throughout we done had it, but over there in East Harbor, Harbordale, they on that.
Listen. The investigation found that after linking deals with Weiner, the Matt guy, several municipalities turbocharged their number of foreclosure lawsuits filed. St. Petersburg filed more than 425 after hiring after hiring Matt in 2015. A vast increase over the number it filed before hiring Matt. By comparison, the city of Miami, with a population of 1.7 times greater, has filed fewer than 50 such lawsuits in the same period. So from 2015 to 2024, the city of St. Pete has filed 425 foreclosure lawsuits over fines and fees in predominantly black neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. In the same time, the great city of Miami has only done 50.
How many we did?
We did 425 in black communities. We did 425 with the largest number being in black communities. So I don't know the exact where addresses. And then the city of Miami in that same 9 years only did 50. The city of St. Pete has been targeting the black community for decades. For decades. It's nothing new, but the problem is we have to do something about it. Yeah. Call your city council member, call your mayor, write an email. We're going to put this article on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page from the Miami Herald around foreclosures in the black community by the city of St. Petersburg. Mm-hmm. And you write them and you tell them that we need solutions to these problems. We need to correct this. We've taken so much wealth from the black community. Now 10% of the black community are moved out of St. Pete.
And
10% gone.
And that's recent.
Just the last census tract. So it may be more. It may be 15, 20%.
Right.
Who knows? And the problem is, nobody live like that. And the
last census, let's think, that was 2020. Was that 2020 or 2021? I think
we only got the data back like a year ago.
I know. I worked for the census then.
You took the census?
Yeah, I did. I worked for it. I actually worked for the census. So this is...
Caller, we're talking about foreclosures in the city of St. Pete. What's your name?
Hey, this is just you. How you doing?
Hey,
Wait, why y'all on that too? Now, if it's your homestead property, they're really not supposed to be able to force that by law. Mm-hmm. So it's a law saying.
But they're saying this is heirs property. They're saying it's heirs property, not.
Hold on. I'm just slow down. I heard what you said, Jamal. It's your homestead property. They're not supposed to enforce that. And the number one reason they're doing that is because our communities in this area have been made into opportunity zones, so where investors can come in and they don't have to pay no capital gains tax on the profit that they make in those communities. So that's why certain areas are getting picked. Also, brownfield taxes, you get incentives for buying properties in those areas. The profit that you make, you don't pay capital gains tax on. So if you invest in that area and you turn around and make $1 million, you don't have to pay capital gains tax on the $1 million that you made because it's in an opportunity zone. So that's what's making our area one of the major areas that they're getting like that.
Let me read this to you real quick, Yubi. These increased foreclosures in St. Petersburg and other Florida cities are particularly significant because the stark racial differences in the wealth passed down from generation to next. The share of black families that inherit wealth is half the share of white families that do so, according to research by the Federal Reserve. And the average inheritance received by white families is nearly 3 times the average received by black families. So what it's saying is that we are already getting inheritance half this times much, and then it's 3 times as less. So
right, but what I'm telling you is the areas that they target and the reason why. So normally they would buy in other areas and just keep going in those areas. Since they get these opportunity zone taxes, and they get it's more profitable to come in the areas that's ours. Just like how Qiana was just saying, like West Harbor Drive, those are opportunity zone tracts, and they all throughout the country. They all throughout the state. And those areas, one, you can create an opportunity zone fund. You don't have to say where the money comes from. You just have to put it in the fund and buy the properties. And 2, you don't have to pay capital gains tax on your profit. So since you don't have to pay capital gains tax on your profit, it incentivizes you to go into this area and take a property here versus buying a property that's not in an opportunity zone, where if you buy a property and sell it over here and you make the money, you're going to not have to pay capital gains tax.
Thank you.
So that's why
they much for that, though, Yubi. Because we are in opportunity zones, and that still doesn't make it right for the city to target black people with foreclosures. And just because it's an opportunity zone and people
I just think, I think it, like you just see, we already know the wealth gap in between blacks and whites, right? We even know where you're looking at the average black person here is making 25,000, right? Compared to 75,000 of our counterparts of white people, right? So there is a big gap in between. We know here to live in Pinellas County, you need to at least make $94,000 as a single person, nobody with kids, just a single person, to live comfortably here and there. And then to be able to, your family, like my parents worked really hard to make sure that they leaving me and my brother
a legacy.
You know what I mean? And a part of one of it is that we can't sell.
Yeah.
Like that's a part that my dad and my mom said, like, yo,
they want you to hold on to it.
Right, because they believe in generational wealth.
Yes.
Like, we worked hard to make sure we accumulated this stuff so that we have something to give our grandchildren and their grandkids. You know what I mean?
You got to protect it too. So.
Right. But then is when you work so hard and then the system works against you, it is.
We got a couple questions.
Go ahead.
The date of the Miami Herald article is September 2nd, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
September 2nd. Did here is a great program for the kind that black people should support. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you. Yes, so generational wealth, y'all. We're talking about right now. We're talking about the Miami Herald article about the city of St. Petersburg targeting black homeowners with codes violations. Yes, this is a very interesting article. It was updated September 2nd, 2024. The series is called The Foreclosure Franchise by the Miami Herald. Yes, it's on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page if you want to find the article. We're talking about generational wealth. Have you or your family been through any codes compliance or issues with the city of St. Pete regarding family homes? Give us a call, leave a message, because we got to start talking about these issues, or they'll keep doing it. Because in my mind, this is a September 2nd article. It probably was written in August or whatever date it was written. It hasn't been mentioned in our community. Nobody's talking about this, and they have been in contact with the city of St. Pete. They have been in contact with city representatives, but no one felt this was information that we needed to know as a community. And so the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club just want to bring this information to y'all. How y'all think? What y'all think about it? Have you gone through a foreclosure? Because it's been a foreclosure spree in black neighborhoods that benefited investors, and that's the Miami Herald article. That they said it, not me.
Hey boy, they call, text, email. They don't even care. If you listen, that be on your Mr. Postman. Listen, I'm surprised my nieces and nephews that's in elementary don't get text messages and phone calls from them. They go and look like every nook and cranny to try to get your property.
The title of the article is Foreclosure Spree in Black Neighborhoods Benefited Investors. Didn't end code violations. That's the title of the story. There is a series called The Foreclosure Franchise by the Miami Herald. It's on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page. Y'all can read the whole article in its entirety. We'll probably be talking more about this in the future. But y'all protect y'all properties, man. Protect your family wealth, because there is someone out to get it. And according to the Miami Herald, the city of St. Petersburg. We got a caller calling in. Caller, say your name. We're talking about the foreclosure spree in St. Pete.
Brother John.
Hey.
So you said that we haven't been talking about it, and I want to modify the record.
Yes,
not a correction, but we did a lakeside chat that discussed a series of articles that were put out around who owns these rental homes in St. Petersburg. And at the time, the topic of the discussion was about all of these corporately owned rental properties. And we asked the reporter, what role does codes compliance play in that? And so we started, trying to peel back the covers. And she referred us to the Miami Herald articles and some series that they were doing. And so I just wanted to let you know that we have been talking about it, but now the report is done, and it's just making the implicit explicit. and it definitely needs to be addressed. But I just wanted to lift that up, man. When you were talking about corporately owned, privately owned properties, you know, we've been trying to pull the string for a while.
We have. I ain't want to be I ain't want my ego to be involved. So, but we've been talking.
Even when they were celebrating, I remember when they were celebrating that they had demoed like 800 homes.
Yes,
and we were like, that's not something to celebrate.
Yes, there's news reports, and Brother John, you actually set me up for the interview when they were talking about they had demo. This was probably 2016. They had demo. Yep. They had demoed 200 homes at that point in Childs Park alone, and. Right. And we was like, hey man, this is nothing to celebrate. This is people's families. This is people's wealth. Mm-hmm. And they're being targeted, and they celebrating it like it's the best thing since sliced bread. And here we are 7-8 years later. Now we have a report by the Miami Herald that says there is some things that probably could have been done better. Or so
another one. Another apology. You know, a decade later, when we trying to send this signal, you know, and
in real time.
But I just wanted to say I'm just a nobody. You just a nobody because you said nobody has been talking about it.
Yeah, nobody trying to tell everybody.
And I'm just a nobody.
Somebody.
Yeah, that's what all right. Hey, thank you. There's a couple more comments in here.
And then do we have Ask Qiana?
Yes, we do.
Okay, go ahead.
The last comments. Anthony Williams says, "Call them for what? They don't listen to us." Arnesier says incentivize gentrification. Yeah, I call it subsidized gentrification because they subsidizing the wholesale theft of our properties. Listen, I've had relationships with codes compliance, high ranking staff members, and they told me, they say, Jabbar, I can walk around any property in the city of Florida and write up a codes compliance violation. That's how common it is. I can walk around any home and write up violations. But when we saturate one neighborhood, that's how we get what was going on in the city of St. Pete. Because if people don't know, codes compliance was used as an arm of law enforcement against Black citizens, right? And these nuisance abatement boards, right? These boards are really jokes. Wish a lot of my family was taught that. Yes, more families need to be talked about it. We need to talk about it more, so it makes sense. Do you remember the tax exemption business sought in the primary election? Did you vote yes or no? Woo. Did you vote yes or no in the exemption?
What, for the tax exemption?
Mm-hmm.
I went
businesses sought. Remember the businesses sought?
No. I said no.
I'm glad they put up for a vote and then just let the elected officials say, hey, this is what we need.
But you want me to say, the way that they put it in there, you thought if people wasn't,
you thought it was for us.
It was for us. So the way that they worded it and put it in there, and unless you was educated on it, most people would go in there and say yes because they thought that they were getting a tax exemption.
Okay, y'all. We finna get on to the Ask Qiana. So if y'all got anything else on the foreclosure spree that the city of St. Peter's been on, give us a call. If you in Tampa and y'all been on the foreclosure spree, let us know about it. Inbox us. We're talking about, Black generational wealth and how can we keep it in our communities and not let it go to investors subsidized through cities. Ask Qiana. Ask Qiana is brought to you by One Community Grocery Co-op. One Community Grocery Co-op. Thank you for that. Dear Qiana, I've been relying on government assistance for a while now, but I'm ready to make a change. I want to take control of my finances and get out of the system and become financially independent. However, I'm not sure where to start. Can you provide some guidance on creating a solid financial plan and taking the steps needed to break free from the reliance of assistance? I want to build a better future for myself and my family, but feel overwhelmed by where to begin. Sincerely, ready for change. I like that.
I do too. That it makes me sit and think. First you need to sit down, and if you have I would tell you first go to a financial advisor.
Go talk to somebody.
Go
talk to a professional.
Go to a financial advisor. Sit down, Figure out your bank got one. Get on the mic. They can't hear you.
I say, what if you can't afford it?
Your bank has one.
Some people are banking with Cash App.
If you're banking with, I'm gonna say this, and y'all ain't gonna like this. If you just banking with Cash App, I mean, if you want better, you got to do better, right? And I'm not here to tell you what banking system to go to, but if you can't go and you're not getting any services from there, and then if you want to do better, you want to buy a house, you can't buy a house with just Cash App. What is you for?
I'm just saying. I'm humming because it's the truth. It's the gospel.
Right. You yeah, like you need to, like, your banking institution does offer that. Also, there's a lot of services out here that you can look for to go and give you those resources. I know Enoch Davis Center is a plethora of information there, right? Yes. So I would say start there. I hope you have a bank. So go to your banking institution. Like, I talk to my financial advisor all the time over there. Then figure out exactly what you can afford and then what you need to cut out of your life. Because a lot of times we can afford more if we didn't splurge on other stuff. So you might gonna have to cut out some stuff out of your life just for a little bit, just to get you where you want to go. So you're gonna go.
No, I'm
right. You know, when you're looking at making a change, you really got to figure out what you can cut off, and the things that that you don't need.
That's financial literacy,
right? To get you where you want to go. And then if you're living here in St. Pete, to be honest, depending on what your income is, I hate to say it, but it's so expensive here. This may not be the place that you will end up at unless you have a partner. What?
I'm not laughing. I'm just, it's sad. It's that sad. I'm laughing to stop from crying.
St. Pete may not be the place because a lot of people can't afford to live.
That's why I said I'm laughing to stop from crying. I'm dead serious. That hurt.
You know, you might have to look at some other options, some other state. Even leave the state, unfortunately. And I don't want to give you that advice, but if you're looking at ways to put yourself in a better financial situation, you got to weigh your pros and cons and see what's going to benefit you and your family the best. Leave. So that you might have to, especially if you don't want to be on assistance. But be creative too. Like, if you have a sibling, maybe y'all can get together if y'all both are single, or even if y'all are two married couples, right? And y'all go ahead and find something that y'all can afford together so that y'all can both save up money enough to make sure that each other has financial freedom, because that's always the goal. It's financial freedom.
Yeah.
So
I agree. The goal is financial freedom, and go talk to a professional. We always advocate for talking to a professional about mental health. Mm-hmm. Talk to a professional about your finances. If you can, go to, like you say, not Urban League, but Enoch Davis Center and different programs. Urban League.
And Urban League might have one as well, because you'll be surprised who offer these services.
Yeah.
That, because one thing I do know about St. Pete, we have a lot of resources. People just don't know they exist, because they have a horrible way of getting this information out there, right, to the people who really need it. Like, they'll put these programs together, they'll have it, and it'll be right there at the corner of your block, and they never advertise it to the people who need it, and it's right there.
Oh, I know.
We're resource rich right here in Pinellas County in St. Pete a lot of times, and people just don't know how to access.
I like that. I thank you for that. We are resource rich in Pinellas County.
We really are. So there's definitely services out there. And so, again, you're going to have to change. The first step is that you want to do it. And changing your mentality to not depend on the system is another,
We might need to have a class about that. how to get off of assistance.
Like they just said,
training.
Set up a budget and plan and stay disciplined.
But we may need to have a training,
yeah,
or facilitate a meeting around or tips and of helping people get off of assistance, because all the time we want them to get off, but never give them the tools. So maybe this is an opportunity to give them the tools to get off of assistance.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yep. I'm just saying.
I
So
like
that's my opinion.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. If you're asking Qiana, that's it. Yeah, that's what I got for you. You got anything else for the people? We got like 6 more minutes.
So y'all stay tuned for our next show coming up this Friday, Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. We're gonna look to have Stephanie Wynn on for IBDB, irritable bowel. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, and so look forward to that. And also,
because the
Keyshawn Corner. Oh,
yeah.
the storm.
Yeah.
Thursday, Keyshawn Corner is going to have a networking event at Rome.
If that's tomorrow, if weather permits.
Weather permits.
And then if you haven't already purchased your ticket,
yes,
get your tickets.
Get your tickets
for that,
now.
And then also get your tickets for Story 727 Gala.
Yes, get a table.
20, get a table. Table holds 10 people.
Get a table.
$1,000.
Wow.
So what we're asking is businesses, if you can't buy a table itself, like partner up with somebody. It's for a good cause. They're looking at purchasing a building because they need to expand. They have a summer program that they actually needed to be funded. They do food pantry. They're hitting the seniors. They're making sure they are fed, making sure that they have interaction outside of just them centers itself. So it's a lot of great stuff that happens with Story 727. Oh, and actually, Keyshawn Corner has been rescheduled to October 3rd.
Okay, October 3rd.
So at Rome, that's on 34th Street North, close to like 38th, right before you get to 38th. If you, I don't know the exact address, so there you go. If you got to 38th Avenue North, you're too far, but it's right there. So, and the tickets for Keyshawn Corner is $50. Right. It's going towards a great cause as well. It's about teen suicide. She's really big on that. Keisha Fuller has came in here to talk about it. Unfortunately, her son did commit suicide, and now this is a passion of hers to help other parents and children, understand this and try to prevent it in our community.
Yes, I definitely feel that we got to support our community. We got to support the groups and the nonprofits that are helping the community. These are grassroots, for us, by us community groups. These are not your big name brand nonprofit of a bunch of people who are here to fix the black people. These are people in the community that care and really look to put back into the community and city that they grew up and live in. So it's a difference. Support these groups, Keyshawn Corner, Store 727, and so many more. The Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, support 99 Jams, Carafesta Radio. We're going into a fall drive. We're looking to have people sponsor and underwrite the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club show. So if you like what we bring in, if you like how we doing it, if you like the information that we give to the community, underwrite the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club show. This is community. Woo! Shout out to Professor Donnie. We're expanding, and because Smart is the new gangster, and we want to thank y'all for helping us expand it, because I'm going to thank y'all already, but this is a fall season. We want to underwrite these shows. We want to build this station up. We want this new podcast room. We want to turn this thing into the interactive hub that the community radio station should be. And y'all can help us do that by underwriting our show and making donations to 99 Jams, Carafesta Radio. You want to come on, give a donation, underwrite a show. This is community radio. This is not a corporate radio brand. So if you're a nonprofit or if you're a social group and you're doing corporate radio right now, God bless you. But you need to come and do radio with the community.
And I'm gonna say this: a lot of people hit us up, right?
Yeah,
and they come in
and want to be on the show and want to do this.
And we're out here, and this is just kind of like a quick little rant, a little bit. Is that what we see is that like they're spending community dollars, like advertisement dollars, with other stations, and they're not getting the return that they need. Right?
Corporate brands, these corporate radio stations,
they're not getting the return that they need.
Like, and then look to come to the community station to get the return, but not contribute.
Or they want to like nickel and dime us and not give us but they know where the support is coming from.
Yes, from us.
So let me tell you, one thing is I can tell you about the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club and 99 Jams is that we make waves. I ain't being cocky, but we make waves, right? These are facts. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't talked about before that wasn't a problem before we looked into it, right? We have the conversations, we touch the people.
Is that investigative journalism? Are we investigative?
That other people are just not touching. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so when you look at it, we get up every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for our people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Unbought and unbothered.
So yeah, so you want over here underwrite.
Yes, underwrite, donate, Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. See y'all Friday. I can't wait to see what's coming next. Y'all be safe. The storm is out there, and that's my word of the day.
Yeah, be the change you want to be. See? All right. And stay tuned for Sister Hughes.
Lose your shoes and shout all around the house.
And this has been the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I am Qiana.
And I'm the one and only Mr. Eggman.
And we are out.
Mimi Goodman with Juan Gonzalez.